Do you really care that I do a word search with my coffee and then I go to the gym and then I eat breakfast and answer emails? That's boring. But guess what? My days are actually never boring. If you're here because you want some plug and play formula of how you could structure your day, then by structure, I hope you mean like those complex geometric jungle gyms, because we're about to get messy for a sec. Don't worry, I've got a 4-step formula to help you plan your days effectively, but they're not what you'd expect. So welcome to the anti-day in the life of a high-volume remote demo vocalist. And I do mean high volume in both senses of the word. And please let me know what your favorite takeaway is from this video in the comments below so I know I am not alone in this mess. I'm still in my first year of making YouTube videos, and I'm trying to figure out what resonates the most with you all. Several people suggest do a day in the life talk, but the truth is my days are scrambled. I struggle to remain consistent. My workflow makes no sense half the time, but somehow I get a lot of shit done. I'm like a messy room, but I know where everything is. And I would toot my horn to say my output is extremely high. I do the most all the time, and executing on a goal or a task is my favorite hit of dopamine. So through the years of trial and error and very messy rooms, I've created something I call process cycling that keeps me incredibly productive without burning out at all. I'll tell you all about it in just a minute. People are always looking for some golden answer of what they should be doing every day in order to succeed. But there is no golden answer. There are lots of ideas, and the more the merrier, because we are all very different people. And so out of 100 ideas of how to be productive or what workflow to create, 5 ideas will be useful to you. And a completely different set of ideas will work for someone else. It's really, really dope to listen to what everyone is doing, try out the things that resonate with you, but don't make the mistake of comparing yourself to anyone or copying someone's entire system, because even though it works for them, it might not entirely work for you. You will be successful when you understand how to take bits and pieces of inspiration from tutorials and coaches and courses, but know when to discern if something does or doesn't work for you. One of my favorite books lately is called The Unsold Mindset. I read it after having just read 8 other sales and marketing books trying to sell my mini courses and ebooks. And these books had a lot of great useful stuff in them, but they also had a lot of tactics that made me feel super slimy, and I just didn't feel right. I didn't feel like marketing was for me at all. I can't stomach it. But then I read The Unsold Mindset and felt like I was finally given permission to throw everything out the window that doesn't resonate with me, because nothing will work if I am not being true to myself. For a minute there, I thought in order to be successful, I had to be someone I'm not. I had to do things I don't agree with in order to get sales. But being inauthentic is the one sure way to fail. And you know, some people read those same 8 books, and the things that make me feel slimy make sense to them, and those things work for them. I am getting better at feeling more comfortable selling my offers, but I am still working through those ugly feelings selling gives me. Last year, I took a $40,000 pay cut to nurture my course creator business, and that took a whole year to at least wipe out how much money I personally spent creating it. Hopefully this year I'll be well into the green, and I think I probably will, because I decided to stop trying to sell and just be myself. Every day looks different for me, partly because I wear so many hats. I am a one-woman show entirely. My 2 friends, Kira and Diana, helped me out with a big workshop, but that's it. I build my own website. I edit my own videos, which is probably why they're not too flashy, but I'm trying here. I send the emails. I make the social media content. I bang my head against the wall some days. I think the only way I could really give any semblance of what my days look like is if I zoomed out kind of far. I could tell you what days look like when I'm on a sync licensing streak, but then other days I'm in social media shoot and edit mode. Sometimes I'm focused on working with developers for my AI voice model. Some weeks I'm in Palm Springs pretending to relax while probably writing a book or following some other high achievement obsession. If I'm being completely honest, I think I'm a hot mess. I somehow stay organized by writing and rewriting and reorganizing to-do list upon to-do list, from Post-it note to grocery list pad to big blue sketchbook to giant whiteboard, Google Doc, spreadsheet, sometimes even dusting off my Asana account just to feel like I'm real organized. But then I probably don't even look at it again after that day for like a year. Now, you might be wondering, how do I keep all this organized? The system that through lots of trial and error that works for me is a way of categorizing and prioritizing my to-dos and creating what I call process cycles. Maybe you want to try this out too. It's when you separate your life and business into departments. And an easy way to do this, if you have multiple singing revenue streams, which by the way, in the description below, you can grab my list of 35 revenue streams for singers without performing live, is to look at each revenue stream like a department. I know that in order to keep several plates spinning at once, I need to spend them a little bit at a time individually. For my acapella licensing department, if I record 2 acapellas in a day, and I'm on a release plan of 1 song a week, 1 day's work in acapella land buys me 2 weeks before I need to worry about them again, right? Then I can move on to the next focus. My next focus is gonna be to shoot 4 new YouTube videos this week. I release a video once a week, so YouTube department is going to be in good shape for a month after a few days of work. Then maybe I'll focus on a 5-song sync licensing EP. Then I'll map out a new ad campaign for my mini courses. I see the master plan in chunks and cycles. I list every last to-do I can think of for each department, but then I make what I call an action list for the week or the month. I prioritize things in order by department, a little at a time per department. And then I just cycle through the departments. And I'll break that down for you step-by-step style if this is something you want to try. Typically, I'm only working on one department on a given day because part of what keeps my scrambled process afloat is to not overwhelm myself on a day-to-day basis. I usually always finish working not too long after the sun goes down and I turn my brain off. I like to sit in the jacuzzi and I like to build fires in the fireplace. If there's one major takeaway from this anti-day in the life video, it's that there are no golden answers, no one-size-fits-all ways to do anything. If you looked at your operation and compared it to mine, chances are most people would say you're running a much smoother ship than I am. We're just in different stages of it. We have different strengths and weaknesses from one another. So however you're doing it right now, you're doing it right. As long as you keep taking a step back every once in a while to observe your operation, try new things, refine and adjust, your ship will get tighter and tighter. Let's do our best and not be so hard on ourselves. If you want to try my process cycling concept, here's an activity for you, so write this down. Step 1, create your departments. One of mine is just called Life Shit. That is the professional literal name of the tab in my theoretical binder. This includes taxes, dentist, car wash, etc. Another department I call admin. This is music business stuff that I consider less fun, like registering songs to a PRO, uploading new releases to my distributor, registering songs to the MLC, sending our work for hire agreements, invoicing, split sheets. By the way, do you guys need help with any of these things? Leave a comment below if you want me to make a video on any of these admin things and I'll do it. And for the most part, the rest of my departments are like demo singing, sync licensing, acapella licensing, my artist project, which, spoiler alert, I am releasing a new music project under the name Chimera G. It is fully self-produced, hyper hop chill. I made that genre up. Let's see if it catches on. But it is coming very soon and I will be exclusively only releasing it on Gala Music, which is a whole nother thing we got to talk about another day. It's incredible. It's given me back my love for artistry. I feel so close to the artists on there and care deeply about the music up there. Gala is just an incredible way to support artists. Artists can make real money on there from the fans in this blockchain ecosystem, selling your songs as collectible items. It's just a super cool way to cultivate strong relationships with your fans and create awesome experiences for them. I'll drop drop a link to it below if you want to check that out. All right, departments, you get the point. Step 2, make a mega to-do list by department. And I love using my giant whiteboard for this. Include in your to-do list a section of possible recurring tasks and how often they recur. Like, okay, my YouTube department requires a weekly recurring day of making new videos. So that is something I rotate in on my weekly more often. Once you have your mega to-do list, step 3, create your action list. This is just like a to-do list, except it's a to-do next in this order list. I love this idea of forcing myself to do things in this order, because when's the last time you did your to-do list in order? You usually pick your favorites from the list and procrastinate the other things, right? So keeping the order of importance helps me avoid procrastination big time. What I recommend when making your action list, zoom out and look at all your department lists side by side and decide which department has something that is the most time sensitive or is the most important. That will be the department you put on the top of your action list. Pick a handful of things from that department that you could get done in maybe one day or possibly 2 days if you really want to focus on getting that department squared away faster, which I do sometimes for like writing a sync licensing EP. If I just want to get it done, I'll block out like 5 days for it and really focus. Obviously, if there's another department with something pressing, put that next. But if there isn't, I want to tell you how to choose what is the most important thing next. And that's going to be asking yourself, what is profitable? You want to be a singing entrepreneur. Hello, you are a business now, and businesses are in the business of making money. Profits are a priority. Profits are the point. And if that still makes you feel icky, go and brush your shoulders off. I give you permission to feed yourself. I give you permission to be paid for your service. I mean, when's the last time you got a free massage? Not from your boo, like at a spa. Never. Massage therapists are magical people. What they do and what they give is healing. This is God's work. When you are sore and overworked, massage therapists are there to physically soothe you, but they also take care of you emotionally, mentally. Like, how does that feel? To just lay there, you, the CEO who does everything yourself, you can chill and let someone else take care of you. Clearly, this is the therapist's gift that they give back to the world. And in order to give their gift, they need to give from the overflow of their own cup. And the easiest way to do this is to charge people $100 an hour. You gotta be okay with receiving. Creating music is fun, so I get it. It can be confusing to a lot of people out there. When you ask for compensation to do something fun, they don't get it. Don't work with those people. They don't respect your time or need to feed yourself and buy birthday presents for your nieces and nephews, and hopefully a little baby of your own someday. But maybe that's just me. As I was saying, what goes next on your action list is whatever will likely turn to profit, either the soonest, residually, or the largest, whichever is a priority to you. If part of what you need to add to your action list are steps to launching any of these revenue streams you found on that free list, and you're not sure where to start, hi, I made you some mini courses, and those are not free because I gotta eat too, but they're affordable. So the link for those is in the description. And here's what I'd like you to take away from this. Embrace the chaos. It's part of the creative process. Stop looking for a golden formula. Try lots of ideas like this one, and then keep your favorites and create your own formula. Regularly take a step back to assess and refine your processes. I call this having an inventory meeting, where I take inventory of everything I'm doing. And if that doesn't sound like it makes sense to me, so I'm keeping it. I'm also keeping process cycling. It's my new made up thing, and it works for me. I just don't find it easy to stay on track with a strict calendar, so I give myself grace on when things get finished, as long as they get finished in the order of importance in my action list. And this way, I tend to stay very on top of things. Keep pushing forward. Setbacks happen, but so do bursts of productivity high. Harness that inspiration. If you're just on one and feel like staying up past your bedtime because what you're building excites you, use that. Resources are there for you in the description below. At the time of creating this video, I have less than 2,000 subscribers, and my goal for this year is to grow to 100K. So if you haven't already, hook it up with a subscribe, and I think you'll like this video next.